Good morning, everyone. Podcast fans, new peoples, family, friends, random cats that are listening. If you're listening, you're a supporter, so don't be hating. We're all just trying to do our thing there. We should all do things that we're interested in, because that's my vibe. And I have ADHD, motherfucker, so that means only do what I'm interested in and fuck the rest. But you can live like that. There's a lot of people that only do one things and they are happy, and I think that's the best way. You can make money off anything that you're interested in. There's enough people that want it. It's hard work. But anyway, it's been a minute since we had a podcast. I've been doing lots of things. Things are happening. Life things, gym things, Muay Thai things, living life in general. So today's podcast is solo, and I think it's a good thing because I'm building up the podcast with a few peeps first, and then when we have an actual guest, which will be soon, at least we have the support of you guys, and I can make a thing about it, and we can put it out there and just put it into the world and see what happens. So, as I said, it's been a while since I've podcast because I have been busy with life things, and in general, I recently got engaged, so that's a huge thing. I actually, if you know me, my whole life I've been saying I would never get married because I don't understand the concept of it. But I tell you right now, if you find the person, it's all cheesy stuff, I suppose, but if you find the right person, they don't make you want to get married, but you want to spend your life with them. And if you're in a marriage, your partnership is better, not just as a relationship, but like on the business side, on the life side, on the future side. When you do stuff, when you buy stuff and you have a wife or a partner that you're married to, they support you more. Like they'll give you a loan because you got your wife here, than if you go and do it by yourself, or whatever, just random things. You can fall back on each other. One person might have something, and then when you're married, you can share it with that person. That's good. For me, that's what it is. If I build anything, I want to share it with the people I love and the people that are around me, and anyone that wants to be involved. That doesn't have to be people I love, but anyone that wants to be involved with what I'm up to, as long as they're supporting, I will support them. So as I said, I got engaged. I went up to the Northern Cape, to Calvinia. I know it might sound like a strange place, but it's not about the Calvinia. It's about the place. It was secluded. There was no one around. We were on someone's farm, but it was 11 kilometers from their house. So we were literally by ourselves for 11 kilometers around. And it was lovely out there. There was a bit of snow, which I've never seen before, that amount. Okay, it's not a lot, guys. Let's just put it this way. It was like a light whitening of everything. The puddles around were all frozen. So that was pretty cool to see, but it was pretty cold. But it was nice. Let's not put it. It wasn't anything close to the storm that we had last weekend, where people are still stranded. And I've been hearing so many stories of people I actually know going places and then have to be airlifted out, or couldn't get to wherever they needed to be. So stay safe out there, guys. It is the Cape of Storms. That's why in Cape Town you can have, like, outside now the sun is out, it's quite warm, but then it said it's also gonna maybe rain. So not peculiar to outsiders, but very normal to South Africans or Cape Townians, or Cape Townians, because that's not all of South Africa has this weather. So guys, we have a lot of things coming up, and I'm super excited about. As you might know, if you're listening, I'm a Muay Thai practitioner and coach and fighter. I don't fight anymore, but I did fight, so I can say fighter. Once you fight, you're a fighter. That's you. It doesn't mean that you have to hit people all the time. You're a fighter in business or in physical or in whatever you do. You fight for, your things. It's not I'm not saying bully. I'm not saying threaten or be like that person. But if someone wrongs you, you should at least be able to stand up for yourself. Like if they call you something that you're not, you should be able to stand up for yourself. And remember, whatever that person says after you stood up for yourself, that is not anything to do with you. That's on them. They're upset that you told them something, or maybe they've never been told before, or they just don't like having the exact same medicine put back on them. I believe in that. Like it's a bad thing for me because I don't purposely go looking for trouble, but if you make trouble with me, I get enjoyment from, giving it back to you. And people are very like, oh, I can't believe you're doing this. How can you do this? You can't do this. I'm like, dude, you just did it without maybe you didn't even know you were doing it. And that's even worse. I at least know that I'm only doing it because maybe someone messes with you and, they hit you for no reason. You got to stand up and defend yourself. I'm sorry, whatever anyone says, I'm not saying fight all the time. I'm saying if someone decides you're just sitting randomly doing stuff and they come up to you or smack you or they be aggressive, you don't have to escalate it. You just have to stay on their level and see what's happening. You can stay calm. You can be aggressive. You can choose whatever you want. My thing is just stand up for yourself because no one else will. And two, sometimes people will do things on purpose to you because they know you won't stand up for yourselves. Like maybe they loan money from you, or they use you, or they talk shit about you, or whatever. It doesn't have to be something very malicious. It could literally be someone just like they're supposed to do X and you're supposed to do X, but then they say that you must do it, and because you don't stand up for yourself, then you take on more than what you should be doing. If you understand what I'm saying, you understand. If you don't, I'm happy for you. Maybe you've never been trampled on or pushed around, because everyone has, even myself. People think, oh, I'm a tall guy, I'm a dude, I do Muay Thai and all this stuff. When I was young, I was bullied, and unfortunately, my mother, I love her, everything, no bad feelings towards her, but she was more on the side of being a pacifist. If someone does something to you, turn the other cheek. I'm telling you right now, do not turn the other cheek, because those motherfuckers will just hit you in the back. That's the vibe. So I'm not saying go aggressive. Like if they say something, swear at you, I'm not saying go burn their house down. But if they say something to you, you can tell them the truth back. And guys, people don't like it. They don't like to be called out on their shit. Especially if you maybe say something, maybe like us would say something to my partner, and someone would hear and they'd be like, oh, I can't believe you let him talk to you like this. I'm like, hello, who are you? Shut your mouth. Do you have a boyfriend? No. Do you know that Michaela and I have spoken about this? My partner and I have a discussion as in if this happens, this can happen. If someone says this is what's going to happen. If there's options to be made, please lead Genre, or please lead my partner, because there's certain things like if we're doing directions, I lead. I ask my partner to assist me. It's not rude or anything. I say, hey, can you please go on the GPS? People would be upset about that. Not that I've heard it, but people will be upset with something so silly, especially if the other person just maybe. I usually find it's more single people, because they haven't compromised for their partner, so they don't feel like they would compromise at that second, because they're not used to it. Like I would say something to my partner, and then someone would be so insulted for her, and then she would be like, excuse me, we are partners, we are getting married, that is my man. If he says to me when we are out climbing, or we are driving, or we doing directions, and he says to me, hey, this or whatever, I'm going to accept it. It's the same goes for when my partner cooks. We already have an understanding that she tells me what to do. She also tells me to stay the fuck away from her work, because she's busy with the process and whatever. And I am not at all upset. I don't even take it personally. I just do my thing. I will do the cleaning, because I know that maybe other people do the same. But when my partner cooks and stuff, she's not worried about the mess she's making, because that's not what she's doing. She's cooking. She's not really making a mess, she's cooking. And cooking makes dishes and mess. But mess is such a overused word, because people like, you cook and you're just doing normal cooking, like maybe making a sandwich and like, oh, there's a plate, here's a knife, oh, you've left this there, crumbs here. Motherfucker, I just made a sandwich. What do you want from me? Must I fucking not make a mess at all? How am I supposed to use the knife and the plate? Must I just hold the fucking piece of bread in the air somehow? So some people get very upset. So, but that, that's just another thing. It can go with anything. Even when I teach people the Muay Thai, I'll come up to them and some people I can see them tensing up as I'm approaching them to correct something or help them with something. You must understand that the coach, okay, there can be asshole coaches, right? That's a given. There can be asshole everyone's. Even there's like good people that only like, oh, I'm a good person, blah, blah, blah. They will have some fucking mad fault that is like, how can you be this person, but then you don't like this thing or whatever? You're not very empathetic to this type of person or this type of situation. So I can see people like tensing up, and usually those students don't stay around for very long at the gym, because it's a free for all. You can come and train as you want. I don't have any specifications. All I have is, look here, I'm going to be coaching you, so try to listen. Even if you know that you've trained at another gym and maybe they have another process. It's not that it's not nice or it's rude, but when you come into a gym and you're like, oh, we used to do this at the other gym. Okay, that's all good, but how do I explain it to you nicely that it doesn't matter what you did at the other gym? This is a different gym, which means you're going to learn different things, which means you're going to grow in whatever you are doing. If you go and train the whole time the exact same, you might never know if you're doing something wrong. You might never know if there's more out there. Maybe the coach says to you 50 kicks, right? But then you go out in the world and you like, yo, I'm a pro, I can do 50 kicks. And then another coach is like, yo, our minimum is 100. And then you're like, what? 100? What? Some people fucking do their shit. But that's the thing. I always tell my students, go train everywhere. Have a home base so that you can at least, you know exactly what's going to happen. The days, so you can get your training in. But if you're traveling or you ever have the ability to go and train at another gym, go and do it, guys. I promise you, every gym and every coach has a different style. If you do, I'm using jiu-jitsu as an option here. Some coaches will only work the drills. They'll drill, and maybe you don't even roll that often, which I don't agree with. I think the rolling is one of the most important parts, because you get into situations that you can't drill because it's very it's a random sequence of events that get you to this position. If you drill, it's usually this step, okay? And you get some coaches that work a lot of takedowns in the jiu-jitsu. So they make sure that you can do a takedown and then you do your basics. Some coaches make you just roll a lot. I do jiu-jitsu, but I use it as an example because this is not just about Muay Thai. This is just martial arts and health, fitness, whatever in general, whatever we're interested in. But when it's with me, it's going to be things that I'm just have an opinion on. Like I know some jiu-jitsu practitioners or gyms, they only allow their students to roll when they're blue belt level. Now, my problem with that is if the competitor, because there is competitions that the white belts can do, compete. I competed as a white belt. I'm still a white belt because I don't roll so often, and I need to get on that. But that's besides the point. I've done competitions as a white belt, and I've got so much more experience from rolling because that guy is not my friend. He's trying to hurt me or he's trying to submit me, and I can really feel what it feels like to be like, fuck, on the edge. Like, if he gets me now, I'm going to have to tap, and it's done. If you're training at your gym, and you never have someone that goes like full tilt on you, how are you going to know if you can use this shit anywhere? Because that's the thing, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, boxing, all that stuff. It's all good and well until someone smacks you in the face And if you've never been smacked in the face, trust me, I don't care who you are, I don't care what you're saying in your head now. If you have never been smacked in the face, you don't know what being smacked in the face feels like. So you might be this fucking beast of a practitioner, right, in class, and then your first competition, you're too cocky and the guy chokes you out and you're like, what the fuck? So, or you go to the Muay Thai event and you like smashing everyone at your gym, but then you go and fight and you can't do nothing. So, there's definitely levels to these things. So, always good to train at different places so you get a different feel for everything. I feel like all around is the best. I trained a lot at one gym, but my coach was, there's different coaches. You guys will know all the different types. My coach was always adamant that we must never train at other gyms. We mustn't talk to other gyms. We mustn't go to other events at other gyms. Which for me is a bit silly, because if you don't go to other gyms, how do you know that you are doing anything right? Or how do you know you're doing good? Or how do you know that you're the best? If your coach is just telling you, hey, you're the best, but you've never fought outside of your own gym, then maybe your coach is just lighting some smoke up your bum there. Lighting a fire and the smoke's going up your bum. I can't remember the expression, guys. Fucking too many expressions, but you'll know what I'm talking about. Just talking shit. But so we are gearing up South Africa and Muay Thai. I'm sure it's like this in some other countries too, because I've spoken to another gentleman when I went to go train in Thailand. I was talking to him about the Muay Thai associations and stuff, and he was saying to me, I didn't tell him my thing yet. He was telling me that he has to fight under another promotion or another affiliation, because the main affiliation, that coach, he basically doesn't want, or I don't know what it is, it's probably a power thing, but he doesn't want any other gyms to join if they don't listen to exactly what he says. So they kind of have to like tiptoe around him, because he wants things done a certain way. And then I told him, I'm like, oh, that's so funny, because in South Africa we have the exact same thing, where we might have had a organization that wants to fight and all that, but they don't want to allow any other gyms or students or fighters or any other representation in, because then the power gets diluted, because power corrupts, guys. The more you dilute your power, the less you're going to be corrupted, I feel. Because the more power you have, if you have 90% of the power and only 10% of the people can talk to you, but you can override them, then you have a problem. Then you're going to be corruptible. So rather start by not letting yourself be corrupt. Dilute that power. You don't need power to do your job. If you're the president, vice, or secretary, you know that you need to do something. There's going to be hard decisions to make, but don't go let the power go to your head, and then just because you don't like someone, or you're jealous, or you have a feeling about them, or you got a fighter and they don't have a fighter, and they want to do this, and then you're like, nah, I'm overruling that. That was the problem we had. So this gentleman was saying the story, and I find it quite amusing, because it didn't matter what country you're in, it's all the same. You guys, if you might think sometimes when I do have other guests, I'll seem like I'm a conspiracy theorist, but a conspiracy is just anything really can be a conspiracy, because people had to conspire, I think that's the word, to do the actual event. Like if you'd put a newspaper together, you got to have a meeting of people throwing in all opinions, and then at the end you decide on an opinion, but that opinion could be slightly towards your product more. Then if I don't know, I'm just saying that's a conspiracy. You are conspiring to make your product more tractable, and you are having the other product, you just maybe don't talk about them, or you use like dull colors, or you make the words smaller. That's a conspiracy, guys. I don't care. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I like to check my facts and so on. The facts don't lie. It doesn't matter what people think. Like if someone says to me, hey, Jandre, it's fucking raining, but then I look up and the sun's there, I feel like that's a conspiracy. That person might be trying to conspire into making me believe that it's raining when the sun's out, Anyway, guys, that is a story for another day. I can get very deep on that stuff because I do believe that there's three stories. There's the one side, there's the other person's side, and then there's the actual truth. So usually if you hear both sides, you take all the facts that both saying, then you still need to do your own research to make sure that the facts that they're saying is right, and then so on, so on, so on. And from there, you can hopefully find the truth or get some facts. So on that side of the associations and things and the presidents and whatever, so we are with one organization, SAMO, which is the South African Muay Thai organization. All these acronyms, there's a lot, guys. I just had to think for a second now because I can't remember all of them. There's quite a few. We with the Crew Muay Thai Association of Thailand, which is where we do our grading through. So basically keep the Muay Thai, one, the tradition alive, and two, keep the uniform of the teaching. So you can't have one coach saying that you must, so this is like a big thing. In Muay Thai, you don't necessarily turn your front foot when you punch. So if you watch a boxer, he will pivot his front foot when he hooks, okay? Which is all good and well. It does generate more power and a follow through. But if you look down, you're going to see that the back or side of your knee is exposed. And if the Muay Thai practitioner kicks you there, you're going to have a fucking bad day. So we try to keep it all uniform, that we teach it a certain way so that it doesn't get diluted into some like 10,000 different styles of Muay Thai. You can obviously have a style, like as in you can be a puncher, you can just be a kicker, or you're an elbow practitioner. But you need to have the basics right. So if someone asks you to teep, right, and you teep, and then when you teep, you allow your leg to pull you forward, and then you are in a bad position, but then you just step back and and then you feel like that's right. But then another person can teep harder than you, bring their leg back, place their foot back where it came from, and then strike again without being in a bad position. So that is where the uniform of it comes in. A lot of people can do Muay Thai, but you watch them when they train, and you're like, okay, you can do Muay Thai, but you're on a very low level. There is levels to the stuff, and if you are not on the level, you can't see it. And if you are on the level, you can see it quick, and you know the people that are just talking shit. The people that talk shit are the ones that are on the bags, and the bags make a loud noise. It shouldn't be a slap sound when you hit the bag. It should be like a thud, like something, like you sound like you hitting through the thing. It's like a hollow echo. The guys that are hitting the bag, and especially when they kick, you must look out for these guys. You hear a big slapping sound. I don't even have to look to know that person didn't kick properly, because the sound is wrong. There's a certain sound. It's like when you hit that fucking driver when you're playing golf, and it just makes that bing. Okay, I don't golf, but I fucking love that sound. You got the sweet spot. And you can ask a golfer, I'm sure, if someone hits the ball wrong and they hear that sound, they're like, oh, they were too high or too low, too this, too that. It's the same with the Muay Thai. If you have a student that has that slapping sound and the bag is swinging violently, he doesn't know what he's doing. Firstly, he's not snapping his punch, he's pushing it. And thirdly, he's not controlling his bag, it's just going wild, and he's just throwing willy-nilly. So he's using the bag's momentum to make him look better. And people, like in movies, you see the guys when they go in, they want them to do jumping stuff. They want the bags to be swinging violently. But if you ask a real practitioner, that bag shouldn't be swinging like that. If it is, you might be pushing your shots, or two, you're not controlling your bag, which is your opponent at that second, right? So you got to control him. You can't. It's not going to be perfect, but you must control him. So, it comes down to the levels. Speaking about the levels, the grading of the Muay Thai is very important as well, because again, we want to keep the heritage going. It doesn't help if people just fight, because sometimes when you fight, it's not always the most technical Muay Thai, because maybe you're a beginner and you get tired, you drop your hands, or you throw things a bit sloppy, or you throw like boxing style because you boxed before, and then Muay Thai gets watered down, because then instead of you having this long guard, with your hands out in front, you're going to have guys that are hands on the chin, which is not good because you can get elbowed in the head. So then it changed, and then if a guy pivots his front foot when he's doing the Muay Thai front striking with his hand, that's an issue. It's a problem because you are showing a weak spot on your leg. So that's why the Muay Thai is you stand directly in front of your guy, your knee faces him, your forearms, the hard part in the front face him. If you turn to the side, then when he kicks, you give him more of your body for him to kick. If you're facing him and he kicks you, there's less surface area for him to hit. He has to adjust more. So if you have done, with my students, I do the same thing. I try to explain things a few different ways, because I also believe that, I don't think the same as another person. I might not understand you if you explain it one way, but then you have another way, and then I understand. So if you have gone shooting before, I can't remember the other stance, guys, but you get the isosceles. It's weird names, people, like old fucking names for these things. But anyway, you get the one stance where you stand with your shoulder facing your opponent. Okay, that is like a newer stance. And then you get the stance which is like old school Clint Eastwood, or just like cowboy, face your target dead on, and then you shoot each other. Now, if you think about it, in shooting, you want the least surface area for your person to aim at. So if I turn my body sideways and then I have the firearm pointed in front of me, I'm going to give the guy my shoulder or the side of my thigh, right? Which means that my organs are a little bit more protected. Look, it's a fucking bullet. It's gonna hit you if it hits you. But you take your surface area from your width of your body to just the width of the side of your body. Now, obviously, there is a give and take on both stances. But if for me personally, I use I think it's the isosceles, where you stand with your shoulder, because then your surface area is smaller. The guy has less to aim at. Now, when you go to fighting, right, because the guy is obviously going to be throwing straight shots and hook shots, you do not want to stand sideways, because when he throws a hook, then your whole body is going to get hit, right? If you stand facing him dead on, hip straight, then when he hooks, you've got already protection on the side. He maybe hits your arm or the side of your leg, okay, which is the stronger and more conditioned parts. Which you'll have to do he'll have to adjust to get you a strike across your body. If he wants to do a big hook, he's going to have to step out to the side, catch you off an angle. If he does straight shots, yes, they hurt and they're fast, but they're not as potent or as deadly as a big hook shot. So say, for instance, if you do any striking and you stand in front of your man and you kick him, right, and your shin maybe hits him on the one leg, like side, front area. If you step off to the side a bit, you can get your shin across both thighs on the front of the muscle, which is sore and more effective. So that stance is important there. So I'm not getting sidetracked, guys. I'm just talking information here. It's details. You listen if you like it. If you don't, you don't have to listen. But my stuff is, as I said, I'm going to try to explain it a few ways so that someone will click. If you've never done Muay Thai, but you've done shooting, you can understand what I'm saying. If you've never done shooting, you've done Muay Thai, you can still understand what I'm saying. So, I like to broaden my surroundings with people. Everyone can be interested in it. Everyone can talk about it. You don't have to actually be a heavy practitioner. At least you can understand it better than when you watch it or see it. The more you understand something, I feel the more comfortable you are, the better you will do things, and so on and so on. So on the side of the grading and the theory and what, next year is the 6th International Thai Martial Art Games, which is basically like a World Champs for Muay Thai. They're going to have other things there, so I'm sure they're going to have a lot of cultural experiences. I'm definitely sure they're going to have a lot more martial arts going on, not just the Muay Thai, because it's not a Muay Thai specific thing. It's a martial arts games. So there's two organizations. IFMA is the one organization. They're going to the Olympics. They're more on the fighting side. So they have a big world champs, like hundreds of countries, and they just have Muay Thai. Then the other organization, or the smaller one, which is more on the grading side and the making sure that the Muay Thai stays a certain level, they are hosting the International Martial Art Games. I'm not sure the politics behind everything. I know in certain countries, the two organizations don't always see eye to eye, not because of they're doing different things, but maybe there's a person that just doesn't want to be involved with the other person. Maybe they think, oh no, this person's going to take my power, and then I'm not in the limelight, which you don't need to be in the limelight, guys. You just need to do the Muay Thai and make sure that it's there for the next generation, and make sure it's better for the next generation. So this is not an IFMA event. This is I can't even remember these organizations, guys. You're going to put so many things in your head. I try not to keep all the organizations in my head because I've been with both of them, and they're basically the same. We're all doing Muay Thai. We're all trying to get better at Muay Thai. We're all teaching Muay Thai. We grade and so on and so on. So I don't know why people are always against each other. I would love it if both organizations could work as one. But when we have to do a specific thing, then we go as this organization. When we go, if we could go to the Olympics, we could go as that organization. We should think about it as a country and not as fighting amongst ourselves, because that's what we do. I feel like it can be brought down to, they want to separate us either by race or sex or religion, and now in Muay Thai organizations. Even though the Muay Thai is the same, it's not like we're doing anything different, guys. There's no extra rules or extra moves in the one that there isn't in the other. They're basically the same with different organizations. So I feel like they're just trying to split us even more. So I don't know. It's a strange thing. But what we want to do is we are in the process of putting a team together for the 6th International Martial Art Games. I'm not going to say that whole thing the whole time. I'm going to say World Champs or Martial Art Games. Okay. So they're putting together this thing. It's going to be a few days because some of it is the opening ceremonies, and then they have a closing ceremony. So that's like 2 days. That's not going to be Muay Thai. Then they have days that's going to be fighting, or they're going to have days that is also. I've never been to this one, so I'm speculating on some of the stuff. But I'm not going to give you too many details because, as I said, I've never been. But they'll definitely have other martial arts, and then they'll have time for the Muay Thai and time for this and time for that. I'm very excited to go because the other IFMA one is more just fighting. It's not really heritage. You have an opening ceremony and a closing ceremony, but then it's just Muay Thai. There's no different martial arts going on at the stadiums. It's just 3 rings or 2-3 rings, depending on how many they have in a stadium. All the teams are around, fight, next fight, next fight, next fight, boom. Whole day, that's what you're doing. There is courses for refs and judges, but there's no like sword fighting, there's no stick fighting, there's no other martial arts, there's no Muay Baron things going on or examples of that. It's just fight, Muay Thai. Ref, judges, you win or you lose. That's how it goes. So I'm excited for the martial art games because I feel like it's going to be not just Muay Thai, it's going to give you examples of other martial arts and so on. It is a martial arts game, so it should be quite a few people. So the plan is to take a team, South African team. Obviously, it's going to be from different gyms because there's not just one gym that does the Muay Thai, which would not be nice because then again, you only have one style. So we're going to take a whole bunch of students, a whole bunch of fighters, and obviously they're coming from different gyms. So even though we go in as a South African team, you might have a small amount of style differences. It'll all be Muay Thai, but you might find that this person likes to kick more because their coach likes to kick. This person likes to box more because their coach boxes more. This person might have an extra move there or here because their coach has these extra moves. Usually, the coach, it's like the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. The coach teaches what he knows, and if he's always teaching what he knows, he's only knows so much, right? So he only has one style, two styles, and then the fighters usually come out like that. So that's why it's always good to vary your training at different gyms, so that if your coach likes you to box or kick a lot, you could go to a gym that specializes in elbows and knees, and then your elbows and knees will come up, which is a very effective part of the Muay Thai. So what we were planning on doing is going to this World Champs, having these fighters fight. Coaches are going to go. So the nice thing is some organizations are like, no, only one coach can go, which is silly, because if I can pay, why can't I just come? What's the problem? So this one, all coaches that want to go can come. Spectators are welcome to come. The thing is, if you take a fighter and you're not the coach of that fighter all the time, and you tell him to do something, he might get confused or not know what you're talking about, or his rhythm's off, and now he's already fighting, and now he's shouting things that he doesn't know, and now he's confused, or he's doing things, and you're like, oh, what's he doing? I don't know his style. So the lovely thing is, all the fighters that are coming, that are able to come, because obviously there's monies that needs to be put together, funds and all that. So fighters will come. Coaches, again, if they have the funds, they can come with. Otherwise, the main thing is that the fighters goes. The coaches can come with. Then the coaches they coach their guys. So help them with the weight cut. There's a relationship between coach and fighter that you build over the time that you train, and you see what this guy is good at, you see what he's not good at, and then you work on those things with him. So maybe he has to cut weight, but now you've been working with him for years, so you know how he needs to cut weight, he needs to do X, Y, Z. So I think that's a great thing, that the coaches are all welcome to come and support their fighters, and they will be in the corner as the main coach when they are busy. The other coaches will assist them, water, bucket, ice. You can't have an ego and feel like, oh, I'm a coach. I'm not a second in the corner. I'm the first. Don't be like that. Just be what they need you to be, because it will work so much better. And then the same goes for you. When they need you, you'll have them. So some coaches will be the main coach, and he'll be shouting out things, right? And then he will talk in the corner. And then when they come to the corner, the second or the third guys, they will just put water on the guy. They will give the towel. If the coach is like, I need this now, you can't get upset. The dude's saying what he needs. He hasn't got time to add the extra words in, because some people are like, oh, there's always time for please. Sometimes there might be 10 seconds left of the time, and you're like, I need the gum guard now, because the ref is like saying, hey, where's the gum guard? Come. It's instructions, guys. Instructions doesn't always have to be polite. They just need to be clear. Like you tell someone, hey, wake up, get dressed. It's a clear instruction, just a clear instruction. Some people don't like that. Very strange. People need to be a little bit more coachable. Not in the sense that you must let people tell you what to do, but let the person show you something that you might not know what to do. Some people are not very coachable. But anyway, so we're going to do that. We're going to go to these martial arts games in Thailand. It's going to be in Phuket or Phuket, whatever you say. Fuck it. To me in English, PH is an F for the English language, so Phuket. Some people say Phuket, but I suppose it's however the Thai say it, that's the real way. But don't get me on with this fucking words, because words are sometimes very strange to different cultures, different languages, and so on. So we're going to go on the island. I've been before. It's fucking hundreds. It's so fun. The main thing is you can take a scooter and go around the whole island if you wanted to. Everywhere you go, you just walk, right? You choose the direction, you walk, you'll hit a beach. Obviously, it's an island. It's a forest on the island. It's magical. It's so nice. I really loved it. So I am super excited to go. I say I am going because even though I don't have the funds together and I don't know how I'm going to make it, I will sell every single thing in my house and my car and whatever I need to go, because I'm investing in myself. So sometimes you don't always have the funds to go somewhere, but if you can make a plan, you have a car and you're willing to sell it, and you know when you come back, you're going to have invested in yourself, you're going to come back with more knowledge, you can get another car. You had one already. It's not my first rodeo. I've sold a car before to get a gym, and then I didn't have a car for 3 years. It wasn't easy, but after the 3 years when I had a car, I was like, oh, I also have a gym. Now I have a gym and a car. Before I only had a car. So I will do the same thing. If I must sell the car, I'll fucking sell everything in my house. I told my partner already, if she comes home and the house is empty, that's just how it is. When we come back, we will have invested in ourselves, so we'll be able to do more, and we'll be able to get more stuff, better stuff, worse stuff, same stuff, doesn't matter. So that's why I say I'm definitely going. So that's the first step. You got to say you're going. But obviously the support and the getting the funds together is very important too. So what we're planning is to go to this World Champs, but before I planning to go with another coach to go and do my grading. So in this organization, I'm on CON 11. So CON is the grading system, or the name of the system. It's like, again, people get so confused. If to compare, because a lot of people know the jiu-jitsu because that's the main system where you have the belts, or it's the most common. People know about it. For me personally, the only two martial arts that should have belts, and they are actually real, is judo and jiu-jitsu. Any other sport that you get belts for, I call bullshit. Okay? I don't care if you do karate, I call bullshit. The belt system is a joke to me, and people will not like that, but you don't have to agree with me. You just have to allow me to have my opinion. So I think all other martial arts with belt systems are a joke. But saying that, I have another opinion. People always like, does Muay Thai have belts? This. No, Muay Thai doesn't have belts. Okay? Whoever has a belt in Muay Thai, you need to go and fucking ask that coach if he's smoking some narcotics, some crack, some dick, some mad shit. Because in Muay Thai, it is levels, not belt system. It's levels. So you go from a level 1 or a Khan 1 to a Khan 19, and you have a title. You have a color system, but it's not a belt. It is when you go for your official grading and so on, or when you go and grade other spots, or when you go and do officiating, or when you go and you put your suit on to like show what level you're on. You actually go and do the official Muay Thai, like all the stops are pulled. You don't hold back on anything. You have a certain color that you wear. It's not a belt. You have a system. It's a Monkong or Monkrul. You have different names for it. Again, these names are crazy, guys. But the Thais, how they say it, is the actual way. So you have colors. So you have an armband and you have a headband. So one headband might be black, and that's one level. One headband might be red and black. That's another level. So that's why I say the only belt system that I think is real is the jiu-jitsu and the judo, because in the jiu-jitsu, the belt systems they're quite efficient in showing you the level of the person. If he's a white belt, he's beginner. Blue belt, he's put some time in, he's working his way up. Purple belt, he might be in it for the long haul. That's the middle belt, Brown belt, okay, this guy's serious. Black belt, this motherfucker is a lifer. There is belts over that, but most people will never see them. There's a coral belt and there is a red belt. And motherfucker, if you got a red belt, then I want to shake your hand, because that is more than a lifer. That is, you've put your body and your whole life on the line to support and grow the martial arts you're busy with. Because usually you only get the red or coral belt, the red being the highest, when you've actually done something amazing for the sport. It's not usually how good you are at jiu-jitsu, it's how much you've given back to the support. of the sport. So for the Muay Thai, there's 19 levels, and again, if you wanted to know, okay, I know if you do a black belt, you've been doing jiu-jitsu for 10, 15 years, okay? Now, if you're on X level of Muay Thai, the person can know, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. You're saying you've also done it for 10, 15 years. You're not a black belt in it. You are you've been doing it for 10, 15 years. So if you were doing jiu-jitsu, you would have accomplished your black belt. But you're doing Muay Thai, which is just a different martial arts, nothing lesser or more. It's just a different martial art. You then have a equivalent to a black belt, because people always want to compare or know, they want to understand it better. So you say you got a car and they're like, oh, it's a fast car. Maybe 120 to you is fast. The other person might be like, oh, I was thinking you have a car that can go 250. That's a fast car. So again, just explaining this in different ways. So I'm going to go with another coach of a gym in South Africa, which is at the moment he's the president of the association. His name's Nick Radley. He runs Taholics. Again, when we go over, we're a team. Obviously, we know what gyms we're from, but we should think as a team, South Africa, not Team Taholics. We must all be inclusive, So we go, we're going to go 2 weeks before the martial art games, because what's going to happen is we can do the grading stuff, and then the martial art games is in association with the people we're grading with, the Grandmaster Woody. So it all works together, that if we grade, it is the same organization or people that are organizing it, that are doing the grading, that are doing the martial art games. Again, we want to represent South Africa and grow the Muay Thai. Anyone can do it, but it's how much effort, how much time, how much you're willing to sacrifice for it. So I'm a lifer for the Muay Thai. I want to carry on. I want to be a grandmaster one day. There's certain age limits that you have to be, which I think is amazing, because then you can't just get your grandmaster if you're not X age. There is like honorary grandmasters. I'm not sure if it's grandmaster or if he's just a master, but Bakau, I'm sure you know Bakau. He did a lot of K1, but because even though he did K1, he's still, when you look at him and you see his bio, he's Muay Thai. So he uplifted the Muay Thai in such a way that he was beating all these K1 fighters at their own game, yet he's a Muay Thai practitioner. So he got an honorary level, which is good on both sides, because now he has a certification to show that he's actually done some shit, and the other organization has this person under their belt now. Again, I think like to be a grandmaster, you got to be over 65 or something. All these age things, right? So I like it because it just goes to show that you can't just get it. You can't just work a year or two, give that time, and then you're a grandmaster. You got to put in ages of time. You got to be a certain age before you get to a certain level, and you also got to be good at Muay Thai, and you got to have given back, and you can't just get it if you haven't done anything for Muay Thai in general. Why? That's the whole point of the organization. That's the whole point of what they're trying to do. We would like people to grow the Muay Thai. So if you're doing a lot for the Muay Thai, they love it. If you're doing half for the Muay Thai, they still love it. But obviously the levels. So we want to go for 2 weeks. It's in Bangkok. The course is 2 weeks to get to the next level. So myself and Nick need to go to level 12, and we're on level 11 now. So if you want to break it down even more, level 11 is the assistant crew. So a crew is teacher. Okay, just so it's basic. Obviously there's different meanings, because crew is a very respectful thing to call a Muay Thai practitioner or coach. You don't usually call the coaches in jiu-jitsu crews, you call them professor, because you must understand that those people still studied this for a certain amount of years. So even though they're doing something physical, you can get like a level of doctorate, because again, your doctorate, motherfucker, doesn't mean you're a doctor. It means in part that you've been doing something for a certain amount of years. obviously if you're an actual doctor and you get your doctorate, then it goes hand in hand that you are a doctor on a certain level. But it's the same with the Muay Thai. There's a Muay Thai university that you can get your PhD in Muay Thai. It's a doctorate. I don't know the amount of years. I think it's 7, and then you can get your doctorate. Now again, don't be fucking stupid and say, oh, you're not a doctor. I know I'm not a doctor, you fucking ass. We are saying that it's the technical term is doctorate. So usually the jiu-jitsu practitioners are professors. Okay, you call them a professor, and that's what you usually would, say who they are. You call them. You wouldn't really call them crew, because crew is a very Muay Thai thing. So in the Muay Thai, you call them a crew. For me, I don't mind if you call me crew. I don't ask you to, because I believe like the Thais are starting when they're 7 years old, fighting for themselves, their whole village, their family. They go live away from their family by 7. Imagine that. I take you away from your family at 7. Put you in a gym, make you fight and train, whether you like it or not. Then you sleep at the gym. You see your family maybe once a month. Okay, so they've earned the crew. I don't mind being called crew, because my actual title is assistant crew. But I don't force or tell people you have to call me that. Again, I think that's like an ego thing. You want the person to make sure, hey, call me this. So the level 12 is basically crew or full crew. Then you actually are on a level where people will take you serious. When you're assistant crew or lower, not that they don't take you serious, it's just that you've only done it for a certain amount of time. You like a brown belt then. If you want to vary it, don't fucking say I said I have a brown belt now. It's equivalent. If you don't understand the Muay Thai, you can understand the Jiu-Jitsu. It's equivalent to a brown belt. Once you get your black belt, then you know, okay, I've earned something. So level 12 is similar to or equivalent to a black belt. If I was doing Jiu-Jitsu for as long as I've been doing the Muay Thai, I might have had my black belt, depending on, if I've done the work. So when you full crew, which is nice because they only start to put you on the website when you level 12. They don't really worry with the lesser, because there's enough people that are level 12 so that they can be like, hey, you got to do some work. So I want to go train. It's a 2-week course. I really am excited because with the other organization, you do grading, but it's not as detailed as this one. So I love being in the IFMA one, and I went to World Champs and I got a medal, and I'm happy that they're going to World Champs, because it's not IFMA that's going to World Champs, it's Olympics, it's Muay Thai that's going to World Champs. The details are unfortunately difficult, because if you're not in that organization, then they don't want to play with you and let you go with them to to Olympics. So that's how it goes. So we're going to go 2 weeks in Bangkok. Don't make a joke about Bangkok. I used to make one when I was young. Before I even knew what Bangkok was, someone would make a joke and they'd be like, oh, have you been to Bangkok? And then they fucking hit you in your cock. And I didn't even know what Bangkok was, but I already knew the word Bangkok at that age, So anyway, then we go to Bangkok. We're going to go train with Grandmaster Woody at his gym. Lots of people training there. You wear your traditional Muay Thai attire for the gradient system, and because there's a process, there's still a uniform. Even though you can train in Thai shorts and with no shirt. When you do the grading or when you do the officiating stuff, you actually wear the colors of your level. So that would be amazing for me to go. It's an opportunity that I won't miss for the world, because I'm investing in myself. Even if I come back and I have nothing, I am now on a different level, which means I have more responsibility and more, not power, but for lack of a better word, more power in what I can do. As in, if you're level 11, you can't grade people maybe to a level X. If I'm a level 12, I can actually officially be allowed to start doing this type of grading, or be on the website, or when they're looking for high level practitioners, they come to the highest levels first. So we don't have many high levels. I think in South Africa at the moment, we've got one level 12 in this organization. So by next year, we will have 3 level 12s. And the lower levels, we don't have too many of them either. Myself, if you want to put it to how many people I have, I've been running my gym for about 5 years now. I've been doing Muay Thai for almost 2 decades now. I have myself a level 11, and then under me I have 2 level 8 students, okay, which is quite impressive. Then there's a lot of level 6s in South Africa. There's a few other level 11s, and so on and so on. So, you know, it's definitely levels to it. There's not too many high levels. So the more people we can put in every year, we put in 5. But, 2 years we have 5 from every gym. Then South Africa grows with the levels, and we obviously put ourselves on the map. We get our name and our pictures on the website. So when you go look at different countries, you can be like, oh, I see this gym, I can go train there. This is affiliated with this one. If I go train in another country or go and teach or grade in another country, I can go to another gym that's also affiliated with this. And I can be like, hey guys, I know you got a level X, but in the country, I have a different style, my own style of training. I might see things that you don't see. Let's work together. Can I come to your gym? Can I, would you accommodate me in doing this? Because that happens often. And because not that the Thais don't teach, they just are speaking Thai. And not everyone speaks Thai. Like languages are difficult for me. But I speak English, which helps. So if you're a high-level practitioner, you go around, most people can understand English, you can teach. Unfortunately, sometimes the Thai is difficult and you need a translator. But if I'm English, there's definitely going with 100% sure that someone in the gym will be able to speak English, versus I'm not so sure that someone in the gym can speak full Thai. So it does help. Muay Thai is from Thailand, but martial arts is for everyone. And the way to grow it is to diversify, dilute the power, guys. So when I get to a certain level, every coach has these things. Like some coaches are busy with the fights, getting the guys fighting, getting the guys belts, getting that ranking up. For me personally, I do want to get involved with the fighting, but I'm more on the officiating side. So I make sure someone that knows what they're doing is actually behind the officiating. Make sure that when you're coaching or teaching or grading, someone knows what they're doing. They're not just letting you grade because they want to. So I'm very much on the side where I want to grade people. I want to get guys in South Africa especially to a higher level. I want to travel around and as a South African or as in my South African organization, get the word out there that South Africa's got some high-level Muay Thai practitioners, put our names on the map. Because unfortunately, with a bit of the stupidness of the organizations, I don't always say it's not on both sides. Sometimes it's just one person or one organization that doesn't allow for a certain thing. So then, power doesn't no one to be in power, basically. So there's a vacuum, and K1 or kickboxing picked up the slack and was pumping in South Africa for a long time because of the other organization and so on and so on. And we couldn't have our own organization. And then finally we were able to have our own Muay Thai association. And now the Muay Thai is growing again and not so many K1 fighters, which I have nothing against K1 except I love Muay Thai. So I don't want to get involved with other striking because then I grow that sport and I'm not growing my Muay Thai. It might be selfish, but I love Muay Thai. I'm not interested really in the K1 side of things because that's a different organization with different traditions and different style and what. So, each their own. So we're going to get to Grandmaster Woody's gym. I'm very, very excited. I think one of my students actually went. I can't remember if he went. I think he did. I don't know. He didn't. He trained a bit. I didn't hear much of that story. But he was one of my level 8 guys. So again, that's a good thing if he did go. But for me, I'm going to go train with with one of my colleagues, and we're going to go and push Muay Thai. For me personally, like, another story, but countries are very silly. Like, we're all just humans, right? And we all live on the same planet. So why are we so against people moving around the planet? I think we can do a lot more if we let people freely move around. But anyway, that's a different story. So as a South African at the moment, we're going to build South African Muay Thai up. So if we got 3 level 12s, right, which other countries might have 20, but we're going to get our name on the board if we have 3 level 12s versus no one. Then they know, okay, look, South Africa has these 3 levels. They definitely got some high level people. So if you go to South Africa, find these gyms, go train with these coaches. That will build the Muay Thai up, meaning international people literally want to come down here to have a camp. If they're close to South Africa, they're like, well, Muay Thai is heavy good here, or that's a bad sentence, but it's on the level in South Africa. Let's go to South Africa and let's go train. It's destination South Africa, destination Cape Town, man. So having the high level people is very important, because then you have, for me personally, you don't get taught shit Muay Thai. Look, I'm going to it's a bad comparison, but it is a comparison. I don't like to go and train or know coaches that are doing K1 with elbows. So they're basically teaching you the kickboxing style, which I think then you're taking away from the kickboxing. You're teaching them kickboxing style, and then you teach them elbows. And then you're taking away from Muay Thai as well. So those practitioners I have a little bit less respect for, because you aren't even strict enough to teach yourself the proper way, and then you're going to go mess up someone else's career or life by teaching them some stupid shit that doesn't go together well. Because in kickboxing K1, you can't catch anything. So now you're teaching them all this kicking and punching and elbows, and then someone catches their leg and then they're fucked, because they're not used to that you can, catch. Same with the clinch. They don't clinch in most sports. In boxing, you clinch, you have to separate. K1, kickboxing, you have to separate. You can grab the guy, throw one knee, and you can exit. In Muay Thai, you must remember that Muay Thai is like this. I can clinch you, right? And as I break my clinch, I don't have to wait for nothing. I can swing as I break the clinch. In a lot of sports where you strike, that is illegal shots. So you're doing the person an injustice by teaching them kickboxing with Muay Thai elbows, or with some Muay Thai rules, but still you don't know all of them, or you haven't done it yourself, and now you're teaching them this Muay Thai. I don't think it's appropriate, guys. So, but that's on you. So I need to get funds together, because I need to obviously book tickets, flights. I need a kit. I need to have food. I need to have accommodation. I need to have payment for the training. All this shit is expensive. At least South Africa, the baht, we'll have a look, but the baht is their currency. I think we get 2 baht for every 1 rand. So, hey, South Africa, fucking for the win, guys. But then you got some countries that get like 20 baht for their 1 of their money. So, but look at, you got to look on the bright side. So if we get 2 or 1 rand 50, or like 150 baht for every 1 rand, I'm happy. So we're going to do that. We're going to get these funds together. So basically, as I said, I will sell fucking everything. I went to World Champs twice with IFMA. I'm not wealthy. I have a lot of energy. I have a lot of things to give, but the funds are increasing. But at least I've got the other things in check. And now just get the funds in check, and then I've got everything covered. So the funds must come in for the tickets, to pay the gym for training, to pay for accommodation. I think the accommodation is quite cheap, because you can stay at the gym accommodation. So it helps you out. Look, I'll sleep on the goddamn floor outside of the gym. You don't know me when it comes to things that I want to do. I'll do whatever. So I went to World Champs. I fought, so I knew that when I did the SA Champs or Western Province Champs, that after that, you are chosen for the team. I didn't have a cent to pay for this shit, because I was working and training, but putting together this amount, if you don't have, or you're just fighting and teaching, it's not something that you have in your back pocket. So my thing was, I never once said I'm not going. Any questions, I'm going. Any things I have to do, okay, I'll get there. So don't know how I did it myself. I didn't do it myself because I was supported by a lot of people. I put it online. I showed people what I needed. I broke it down. Someone was like, hey, one of my good friends was like, hey, he'll pay for this. Then someone was like, hey, I'll give X amount. So, if you need 20 grand and you just need 20 people to give you 1,000 rand, or you just need 4 people to give you 5K. So that's how I built it up. So that's my exact same plan. And I did that twice. So, third time's the charm. I don't know, I'll go more than 3 times, but it's a good saying. Go, I say I'm going, I make a plan. So that's the thing. You got to say you're going first, and then you make the plan. If you're like, I don't know if I'm going to go, I can't do this, I don't have this money, I don't know, then you're not going to make a plan. So now, Jandre, you need to pay for tickets now. Okay, fuck, I'll make this plan and get this. Okay, I need the kit. Okay, I'll make this plan and get this. So we are going to start pumping this, and I'm going to talk about it a lot on the podcast because I'm twofold here. I don't have any fighters going. Okay, so this is now you must understand. I don't have any fighters going to the World Champs. So I have no chips or no eggs in the basket. But on the other side, I am going as a South African team, so we must support each other. So that when the funds come in, if I have more funds than I need, or I have a sponsor that is willing to sponsor more than just me, I am going to make sure that even if I don't know or train the person, I'm going to find out the person that's struggling the most to get the funds together, and I am going to assist them. Okay, if I am able to. Just like dilute the power, dilute the funds, guys. If everyone goes, it's better. If I can go and I can't say be in a 5-star restaurant or eat the best restaurants every time, but I must go and I must stay in a 3-star restaurant and I must go to cheaper restaurants, I don't give a fuck. Food is food and bed is a bed. Okay, I'll sleep under the ring, on the ring. I don't care. I'll clean the gym there. For me, it would be a privilege to clean the gym and get the training, because that's the Muay Thai way. But some people aren't interested in that. But I would do that full on. If you tell me, hey, Jandre, I'll give you free accommodation, but you got to clean the gym once a week. Fuck, I'll clean that gym you've never seen clean before. I also do enjoy cleaning. It relaxes me, and I just like it. I like to see the things clean, So I would do that. So the funds need to come in. Got to find some sponsors, a few sponsors. I don't need that many sponsors. You say, for instance, the flights, say everything's 40,000. You only need 8 people to give you 5K again. Or you need 40 people to give you 1,000 rand. Or you need 80 people to give you 500. I mean, everyone gives you different amounts. So some people might be like, look, I can't give you money, but I run a X company. I will install, because there's nothing really off my back. I get everything at cost price. These people already getting a salary. I'll install something that I do, some cameras. I'll sponsor you 5 cameras, 5 camera system. I can take that hit. It's easy for me. I have cost price. I already have the guys doing the job. I already pay them. I already got the vehicles. So we put in 5 cameras, probably worth like 10K. Okay? Then you raffle that off. And then maybe you make more than the amount that they would have given you for the cameras, because you raffle it off at X price, you make 20K off it. There you sorted. The company looks good because they advertised the stuff and they gave you something to raffle. You raffled the stuff off. There's a winner. He's happy. Everyone that was in the raffle, they know it's a raffle. It's like a lotto. It's like gambling. You win, you don't win. That's how it goes. So that's my mentality, guys. It's not easy. Trust me. You could be like, oh, this guy, look. Lots of people have a good mentality, but trust me. Even motherfucking David Goggins, you think that motherfucker doesn't have days where he's like, oh, yo, this is hard, or whatever. Oh, don't know if I can do this. But he always bounces back and he makes sure that he is pushing. Everyone has bad days, guys. Like, I listen to a lot of Joe Rogan. I'm not trying to name drop here, but Joe Rogan's also the reason why I'm doing these podcasts. I've been listening to his podcast from like number one. And he supports everyone. He has the guest on, and I don't know how many times he's been like, yo, you should have a podcast. Even if the guest doesn't think it, he's fully like, yo, you should have a podcast, guys. So support is very important. So people aren't always the strongest of every second of the day, but it's what they decide to do with their support and with their bad days and good days is what makes them inspirational. So if you want to be inspired by what I'm doing, please be inspired, because I'm not perfect. I've done shit. I've done good stuff. I'm only human, but I will support anyone. And I pushed for myself, even though it was just myself I supported at the 2 World Champs. I didn't do it alone. Other people supported me, but hopefully they saw that I have a push or a drive or a passion for this, and they were like, I like that passion. I want to support this passion. So you guys are definitely going to see some stuff coming out of South Africa on my side, from Genre or Top Primate, to get funds. But again, when I go over, I'm not Top Primate, I'm not Genre. I am a part of the team. If I can get sponsored, hey, I'll sponsor you for 2 people. I'll be like, hey, would you be in the option of doing that? But instead of sponsoring 2 people, dilute the funds for the second person, and because there's 2 people that just need half of what you're going to offer me, well, you give those 2. Then again, you diluted the power, you diluted the funds. Instead of 2 people going, now 3 people are going. Now 3 people win medals and come back to South Africa, instead of just that 1 or 2 people win medals. Then you have a support system. Then you have, even if the person didn't believe that they supported, they are now supported, and they're like, next time they're like, oh, look at this guy supported me, I don't even know him, blah, 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 So I'm very much about that. I don't, funds or money is good to have, but I don't think you should be too stingy with it. Spread it. It will come back to you. Maybe not in the form of money, but in the form of support, in the form of help. People don't have to just give money. If they get a discount from somewhere, they can give you the discount. If they have free miles, they could give you the free miles. If they have, hey, look here, I got $50 laying around. $50. Oh, I got some baht. Here's some baht. Oh, I've got this car. You wanna ride it around, put your name on it, and say you're looking for money. It's a nice car. It's really, don't be scared of what support you can give. If the person that you're trying to support can't think of a use for your support, then they should start thinking more outside the box. Because trust me, if you said to me, hey, I've just got this building, you can use it for whatever. You think I won't do something? There's things that you can do. As I said, you got this car. I've got this business. I can advertise you on my website. I can't give you money. That's not what I'm able to do now. But I've got over 500,000, 20,000, 100,000 people that traffic on my website every month. I can put you up there, and because they see that I'm supporting you, my name is good, I can help you and get you some support, because they will trust that what I'm doing is feasible or above board and stuff like that. So you got to think outside the box. Like if you had a car and they're like, look, you can wrap this car, or you can put advertising on it. If you drive a nice car and you have you're looking for support, I promise you'll get more support than if you're driving a fucking piece of shit car and you ask for support. It's just levels to it. People see this really expensive car and you're looking for, they're like, oh no, this guy, he's doing something. They see the guy in the piece of shit car, he's looking for advertising. You might only get a certain amount of funds versus if you have a more fancy thing. Who knows why that works? People like fancy shit. So someone might be like, hey, I've got this phone. You can raffle it off. It's not the newest phone, but it works. It's fixed. It's like nice smartphone. There's all kinds of things, guys. So don't don't think that you can't support, even if it's a little support. You know, I know like broke it down. Certain people give you a certain amount of money, you can go. If obviously it's going to be a lot more people, but if everyone gives you R5, yeah, it's a lot of people. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to work it out now. But if everyone gives you R5 and you need 40K, okay, obviously it's going to be a lot of motherfucking R5, but it's all going to build up, right? It's all going to get you there. So, guys, I think I'm going to end it soon, but support each other. Like, support your gym, support your coach, you know, support your friends. They don't need much. I don't ask for anything really. Give me a like, give me a share. You never know who's on your page that might be interested in it. Don't be jealous, okay? Because you can also build something. Just because that person's done their work, you can't be upset that they're trying to get something. And don't be jealous if they get support and then you're like, I could have used that money. I'm not asking for anything to make myself more wealthy or to buy myself a nice car. If you see me cruising around in like a Beamer after you supported me, then there's a problem. But this is what you're going to see me. You're going to see me cruising around on a goddamn bicycle because I've sold everything and I've taken your support and I've gone to Thailand. You're going to see me sleeping outside on the gym floor or just outside the gym. I'll sleep outside. Thailand is warm as shit. I will sleep motherfucking outside in the I will just be a vagrant. I don't give a shit. If I can be there and train, that's all I really care about. There's showers in the gym. I can shower. I can I can survive. Especially if it's something for like that, you know. So, guys, support each other. You can support the team. Okay, you don't have to support a specific person. You can say, hey, I want to support the team. Here's 20K. Then we take that 20K and we like, okay, guys, I've just got a sponsor. I'm paying for everyone's kit. As a team, I'm paying for everyone's kit. Cool. Lekker. Now we got a kit. You know? These things are very, very important because we need everything. You can't fight if you don't have a certain kit. You can't go over in civvies. You have to be in these certain clothes and so on and so on. So if you are interested, guys, get in touch with us. If you don't know how to get in touch, type in Google Muay Thai gyms Cape Town or Muay Thai gym South Africa. Get in touch with the closest gym to you or one that you like or heard about. Ask them, hey, are you going to number six international martial art games in Thailand, in Phuket, next year, March? Are you going? They're like, oh, we're going to get these funds. You can assist them. You can assist all of them. It's very easy. If you want to assist, and you can, or you just want to support, or I just finalizing if you can or not, for the grading, like specifically for the grading, that's nothing to do with world champs. That is open to everyone. You just have to have the fun. So if you're like, hey, I want to go and grade, I'll take you with. I got 3 miles. I can fly you with me. Cool. Fuck it. There we got a flight, guys. So anyone is able to come to do this grading. So you can join us in Thailand for a nice trip. And you will also have a guide, as in someone that's trained Muay Thai, someone that knows what they are doing already. You just fall in line with them and you can get your shit together. And obviously, if you support them, they will put your name up on their website. They will advertise, hey, this person supported me. And then again, some people will come to your business because they see, you give back. Giving back is very important, because if you give back, you will get back. I promise you. If you put your time into a fighter and he wins, it's a good investment. Even if he loses, you still put him out there. They still see what you've done. Other guy could have just been better on the day. Then the fighter fights again. Rags to riches story. He lose, and now he's just winning. It's very inspirational, guys. Martial arts is that. That's really what martial arts is. Not about the money. It's about the support, the team, the inspirational, the changing of lives. You never have to fight. You can just train Muay Thai and get your goals together. It's got discipline, so you can discipline yourself. It's got structure, so at least you know what you're working towards. You can literally write down everything you want to do. It's got a time frame for different things, so you can know if I do it for this amount of time, I can get to the next level. It also gives you self-confidence because you know I can do a push-up, I can do a pull-up, I can kick, punch, whatever I need to do. Gives you a lot of confidence. So it is a good thing to get involved in, guys. So again, support each other. If you're at a gym, you don't have to have much. You could, if you tell your coach, listen, I can give you 100, 200. Maybe the coach is like, oh no, it's not worth it. That's silly. Any support is worth it. You're like, oh, I got this company. I don't have funds for you, but what I can do is I got all these extra X, and I can install it somewhere. You can use that as a charity. You can use it as a fundraising event. I got fucking all these. I make biscuits. I'll give you free biscuits. You can sell it. Guys, it all adds up. As I said, a whole bunch of people giving you R5. I don't want to say R1 or R2. That's like 50 cents. There's going to be a fucking shit ton of people. But anything helps, guys. You might have an expensive wine. Yeah, I got this wine. That's what people do. They give stuff that they have too many of, or they write it off, and they can write it off for themselves, as in like maybe some taxes or whatever. Or they just got all this cuck laying around, they want to get rid of it, but to you it's junk, but to someone else it's like gold they can sell and stuff. So guys, have a lekker one. I'm going to sign off, and I will be back with another one. I want to hit another one maybe on this weekend. I am moving, so I've got fucking so many things that's going on, which is good. Good things that's going on. You don't want bad things going on, you want good things. So you just got to aim your head at the good things, and then the bad things will be there, but you still, you focus on those good things. So guys, have a good one. I'm going to be signing off. I hope everyone is enjoying the podcast, getting at least some inspiration from it, motivation. I don't believe in motivation. I believe that you just have to do it. But if you get motivation, good, take it. If you get in support, if you get in knowledge, whatever you're getting from this podcast because you're listening, keep listening, guys. If you have any ideas for me to talk about things, or you want to ask me questions about things I've done, please go ahead. If like people that listen, I say like, hey, shout outs to them, but I don't always mention their names because I don't know if they want to be mentioned. I mentioned Nick Radley because he's not a ghost, or he's not trying to hide. He's the president of the Muay Thai Association. He runs Taholics. He's trying to get his name out there, as am I. So I will mention people's names. If you want to have a shout out, I'll mention your name, guys. And shout out to all those guys that have given me some feedback. They've given me things that I just needed to adjust because I maybe posted it wrong and they couldn't comment. Some guys will say, no, they like to listen because when they're working. I don't care if you only listen when you're taking a shit. It's, for me, I'm putting it out there, putting it out into the ether, or whatever comes back at me is, I've put my side of it in, and you are the listener. And guys, if you're thinking about doing a podcast, go and do it. You want to start, you want some help. I'm not a pro. I'm using my laptop. I got some program I record on here. I got one headphones because the other one's fucked. I need to get another pair. That's why I don't have guests. But if you want to come, you got a headset, you plug it in here. We talk shit. We say, hey, you're doing a podcast. I support you. I give you shout outs. You shout out on me. That's all we really need, guys. Share and support. Okay? You see, I was saying about the weather, the fucking sun's gone and now it's looking a bit cooler. So, we only been hitting this for an hour and 20 minutes and the weather's already changed here in Cape Town. But I love Cape Town. It's one of the best places. Okay, guys, have a good weekend. Have a good day. Train hard, stay fit. It's good for you. Okay, it's not that difficult. Whoever says it is, go and find yourself someone that can assist you. If you don't want to do it yourself, come to my gym. Come to any gym in Cape Town. Hit Muay Thai. Hit enter. Google. Go to that gym. Talk to the coach. If the coach isn't working for you, the gym's not working for you, the training's not working for you, go to another one. Don't give up, guys. It's a saying that goes around so many times. You go to 70 places, you only need one person to give you what you're looking for, right? I don't think that's that difficult, guys. Okay, and if you can, sell your goddamn car, jump in both legs. Don't have a plan B. That's the worst case. Don't have a plan B. Whoever says have as a plan B, they probably had some money from family, or they were well off, or they were doing something that they weren't fully committed to. For me personally, I suggest to you, don't have a plan B, because if you do, you have something to fall back on. You can just give up. If you had no plan B, you know that you have to fucking work, because when you go home, there's no home to go to, because you don't have anything to fall back on. And that's, I think, how people get there. I have nothing to fall back on. I have what I've earned myself. I wasn't given anything. I was brought up where I was brought up, but I didn't get given a lump sum of money or an inheritance or anything like that. I was given a vehicle that was a chock, but it was a vehicle. So again, you take what you can get and you keep pushing forward. Okay, guys, have a good one. I keep saying bye for the last 5 minutes, but something always pops into my head. But that is definitely going to be me. I'm going to hit the space bar and it's going to be done.